All right, today we're going to attach the new hours of operations decal, courtesy of E&S Graphics. What you'll see beginning in the video are two of the three decal sets that you'll receive. The top being the Subway Eat Fresh, the second being the hours of operations, and the third being any special assistance and or credit cards that the store takes. Tools that you're going to need to accomplish this, obviously, as you see in the above, you're going to need some low tack, either painters or masking tape. Also, what you're going to get in terms of the kit is you're going to get a squeegee that comes with that to help you kind of get it flat and get all the bubbles out. You'll also need some type of tool like a box cutter or even a pair of scissors that has a sharp edge to help you do that. Finally, what you're going to need to make sure we get it centered on the door is you're going to need a tape measure, because all of these three pieces need to be symmetrical when they're attached. So you're going to need to be able to measure it to make sure you get it in the center of the door. So pretty much what we've done already is use the tape to get it centered. And just as an example, what we're going to do is Evan's going to take the tape measure and he's just going to measure it down from the top of the door to make sure we get that taken care of. So as you see, what he's done is he's measured each side on the tops of the door, and to make sure we're aligned there, and then he's going to each measure the sides to make sure that's symmetrical as well. So we are certain that we've got it in the center of the door. And with that, we're ready to begin. Now obviously, as we start the process, we want to start on a freshly cleaned door to make sure we have used the glass cleaner to get it as clean as possible before we do this. And as you can see right now, this is done on the outside of the door. So with that said, what you see is Evan now taking another piece of tape and making it flat to the door.
And making it hinge.
So that he can have that hinge to keep it in position, so that it's easier to put that decal on so that it won't move from where we had our first and original measurements to. So as he says right now, that's why you need your sharp cutter. As you saw him basically take the contact paper and go ahead and get that out of the way. What he's doing now is he's taking the squeegee and he's getting all the bubbles out of the transfer paper that's on there. So this is kind of how we do that. Obviously, he's removing the middle tape because he already has the hinge, because the left side has now been attached, and we go from there. So obviously fold it back over, we get the hinge, and you can see that he does the other side. And so what he's going to do now is fold it back over, use the squeegee, going to get all the other necessary bubbles out of the transfer paper.
And you want to make sure you're holding this off the glass.
Right. And as Evan just said, I don't know if you heard it, we want to make sure we're holding that right edge off the glass until the very last minute. And then we come back and get them all out of the contact paper, including most of the corners. Now, if you've ever put a decal on the back of your car window or anything else, now the trick is slowly removing the contact paper.
And you want to do it at a 45-degree angle.
That all that will remain.
And flat. As
you see Evan doing, you want to keep that 45-degree angle and do it completely flat, so it doesn't, once again, reinstate any bubbles into what remains on the door. And so with that said, what you see now is you see the remaining Subway Eat Fresh logo, which absolutely looks good and really pops on the door. So now we're down to the second one. We're down to the second part of it. And once again, he's going back, puts the tape over the middle to create that hinge so that he can cut off the actual contact paper, just leaving the transfer paper as we did before. So there's the sharp edge, the scissor or the box cutter or whatever you choose to use there. And again, you want to get all the bubbles out of the transfer paper. Hold up that left edge so you can get all of the bubbles out without it sticking, because if that left edge sticks and you've got too many bubbles, you might run the risk of damaging the ultimate decal that's going to remain. All right, so now we've removed the hinge tape, and he's going over to the right side now and taking that off, folding it back using that 45-degree angle. And each time we want to remove either contact paper or transfer paper, we want to slowly use that 45-degree angle to make sure we don't do anything to damage the actual decal that's going to remain. Continuing on with the squeegee, gonna again hold up that right side, keep that far right side completely off of the window until we get all the bubbles out. And now we're to the point to where we completely have all of the decals, all of the bubbles out of the decal. Once again, here we go with that sharp 45-degree angle and keeping it folded to the door so that it smoothly comes off without any damage to the remaining decals. So obviously now we got a great looking door there on the top half. It's got Subway Eat Fresh and has all the logos. Now we're down to the bottom and the third piece. And the final third piece will be the credit cards. Now what Evan has now recently done is taken his window cleaner and gone back over with a clean cloth just to make sure it pops and it's cleaned and any residue from the transfer paper.
Don't want to scrub on top.
Transfer paper is taken off the debris. We don't want to scrub that. We just want to wipe it real lightly so that it can be as clean as possible. All right, and now we're down to the bottom decal. So where Evan had taken that third decal that deals with credit cards and needing any special assistance, we're now ready to go. The beautiful thing about this decal is if there's any of these that you don't take, for example, American Express, you will have the ability, as you see in a minute, to pull that off if necessary. But the store we're doing today takes all of these credit cards, so we don't have a problem. So we're going to use everything that's in this decal as part of it. So while he prepares the window and does that, we'll continue moving on. Now what you see is this one is a little more durable from the standpoint of you can pull it directly off the contact paper and go ahead, and we want to put this at the bottom of the door where the hours of operations are. We want to keep this down near the bottom so we can keep as much of the door open as possible and not be blocked by the view blocked by anybody in the restaurant.
I'm still doing the same thing. I'm just tacking right here.
Right.
Using the squeegee.
So as you see, that's exactly what he's doing. He tacks that right end, uses the squeegee to get it out, and the last thing that touches the door is the transfer paper on the far left. So please make sure we keep that up until we get to the left. Again, you see us using the 45-degree angle there, and he peels that off, and what remains are the decals that we use. Obviously we got a great looking door now. So we'll step back and take a look at the finished product. And this is where we want to head. So hopefully this video has helped out a little bit. Evan, thanks for your help. We really appreciate it. And all the hard work you put into this. And we got a great looking clean door that has all the required information that we need to have. So thanks so much. If you got any questions at all, please reach out to your business consultant. Thanks a bunch. Have a great rest of the day.